Hello everyone, I am Sweden Hilarion and I am going to discuss between the two Asian countries, which is Singapore and Myanmar, in terms of their education system. But before that, let me acknowledge first our very own professor in this course, EdAd 208, Dr. Tenin Shitra Abbas, and my fellow educators. Please sit back, relax, and let's learn together. Now, first, let's discuss the education system of Singapore. Education in Singapore is managed by the Ministry of Education, or MOE, which controls the development and administration of state schools receiving taxpayers' funding, but also has an advisory and supervisory role in respect of private school. The bilingual policy is a cornerstone of our education system, which requires students to offer two languages, which is English language and a mother tongue language, or MTL. Singapore have their mission and vision in terms of education system. For mission, they aims to bring out the best in every child by enabling students to discover their talents, realize their full potential, and develop a passion for lifelong learning. In vision, they seek to nurture the whole child and help them develop an enduring core of competencies, values, and character to ensure that they have the capabilities and dispositions to thrive in the 21st century. Now, let's have a trivia about their education system. Did you know that education spending usually makes up about 20% of the annual budget of Singapore? As you can see, there are dates wherein the development of their education. In 1823, Sir Thomas Stanford Raffles founded Singapore Institution and starting education in Singapore under the British rule. By the year 1947, Colony of Singapore formulated universal education system that would prepare for self-governance. By the year 1950s to 1960s, adopted a survival-driven education, which is the huge bilingualism policy in school was officially introduced in 1960. By the year 1980s, Singapore's education system shifted from the quantity to quality. And year 1997, Prime Minister Goh Chok Tong changed their vision, thinking schools learning nations. Now let's discuss the elements of teaching. First is the content of their education. Ministry of Education formed on 1960 by the government of Singapore. It is a ministry of the government of Singapore that directs the formulation and implementation of policies related to education in Singapore. Did you also know that pupils per teacher in primary schools in the year 2015 is 15:1, while pupils per teacher in secondary schools in year 2015 is 11:1. So there are attributes that educators aspire for every Singaporean to have by the completion of his formal education. That he has a good sense of self-awareness, a sound moral compass, and the necessary skills and knowledge to take on challenge of the future. To sum it all, he must be a confident person who has a strong sense of right and wrong, a self-directed learner who takes responsibility for his own learning, an active contributor who is able to work effectively in terms, and lastly, a concerned citizen who is rooted to Singapore. Next, the teachers. As teachers, you build the foundation of education. You equip students with essential skills and sound values to prepare them for life. You inspire and instill the joy of learning, making lessons fun, relevant, and authentic. There are three career tracks or fields of excellence of MOE. One, teaching track, which comprises principal master teacher, lead teacher, and a senior teacher. Next, we have the leadership track, which comprises of Director General of Education, Divisional Director, Cluster Superintendent, Principal, Vice Principal, and Head of Departments. And lastly, the Senior Specialist track, which comprises of Chief Specialist, Principal Specialist, Lead Specialist, Senior Specialist 2, and Senior Specialist 1. Now let's discuss about the learners. 1. The kindergarten. Kindergarten provide an environment for children to learn how to interact with others and to prepare them for formal education at primary school. So those activities include learning language, written and oral, and numbers, development of personal and social skills, games, music, and outdoor play. Next, we have primary education. At the primary level, students go through a compulsory 6-year course designed to give them a strong educational foundation. This includes developing language and numeracy skills, building character, and nurturing sound values and good habits. Students also take subjects like art, music, character and citizenship education, social studies, and physical education. Third learner is the secondary education. At the secondary level, they offer 3 courses designed to match students' academic progress and interest. So this includes express course, normal academic NA course, and a normal technical NT course. So what is an express course? So this is a 4-year leading to the Singapore Cambridge General Certificate of Education or GCE O-level exam. Students learn English and mother tongue languages as well as mathematics, sciences, and humanities. Next, we have the normal academic NA course. This is a 4-year leading to the General Certificate of Education GCE NA level exam. Students learn subjects similar to those in the express course. Lastly, normal technical NT course. So this is a 4-year leading to the General Certificate of Education GCE NT level exam. Students learn English and mother tongue languages, mathematics, and subjects with technical or practical emphasis. And the curriculum is regularly reviewed to enhance experiential and practice-oriented learning. Next, the post-secondary education. After secondary 4s or secondary 5, most students proceed to one of the following post-secondary education institutions. Junior colleges or centralized institute. Students can apply for the pre-university education at the junior colleges for 2-year course or centralized institute 3-year course leading to the GCE A-level exam or the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. The junior colleges and centralized institute offer a wide range of elective program and subjects. Next, the polytechnics. Students with O-level certificates, NITEC, or higher NITEC qualifications may apply for full-time diploma courses at any of the 5 polytechnics. The polytechnics offer a wide range of courses that equip students with industry-relevant skills to prepare them for careers in fields. Next, Institute of Technical Education or ITE. Students with O or N level certificates can opt for full-time courses at ITE. These courses lead to the NITEC or higher NITEC qualifications. Apart from full-time institutional training, students can also acquire skills, certification through traineeship programs conducted jointly by companies and ITE. Now let's go to arts institutions. Students interested in the creative arts can enroll in programs offered by the LaSalle College of the Arts and Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, or NAFA. These institutions offer a range of publicly funded degree and diploma programs in the visual and performing arts, such as music, theater, dance, interior design, and fashion design. Now let's discuss about universities. So there are six publicly funded universities in Singapore. One is the National University of Singapore, or NUS. It is a research-intensive university with 16 faculties and schools, including a music conservatory. Next, we have the Nanyang Technological University, or NTU, which is a comprehensive, research-intensive university with a strong focus on engineering, science, and technology. We also have Singapore Management University, or SMU, which offers undergraduate and postgraduate business and social science programs at its six schools. SMU is known for its interactive pedagogy of seminar-style teaching in small class sizes. We also have here the Singapore University of Technology and Design, or SUTD. It is a small, top-tier, research-intensive university focusing on the design, education in engineering, and architecture, and leverages its partner universities' strong tradition of engineering excellence and entrepreneurial spirit. We also have the Singapore Institute of Technology, or SIT, which offers degree programs in partnership with reputable overseas university in sector Singapore management. Last but not the least, SIM University, or Uni SIM2, which offers flexibility across different modes of learning for working professionals and adult learners to balance their career, family, and academic priorities. Now, let's discuss the education system of Myanmar. The education system of Myanmar, also known as Burma, is operated by the Government Ministry of Education. The education system is based on the United Kingdom's system due to nearly a century of British and Christian presence in Burma. The first government high school was founded by the British colonial administration in 1874. Early all schools are government operated, but recently there has been an increase in privately funded schools which is specialized in English. Here's a trivia about the education system in Myanmar. In Myanmar, schooling is compulsory until the end of elementary school, probably about 9 years old. However, the international standard for schooling is 15 to 16 years old. Now, let's discuss about the learners of Myanmar. First, we have the preschool and kindergarten. Preschools are open for children over 2 years of age and they are in extensive care or public systems. Kindergarten starts from the age of 5, not younger than 4 years and 8 months at the time of school's commencement date. Primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary schools in Burma are under the Department of Basic Education. Let's discuss as well the primary education. Primary education is the first stage of basic education and in principle is compulsory. Primary education lasts 5 years, including 1 year of preschool education or kindergarten. It is organized in 2 cycles, lower and upper primary. The admission age is 5 years above. It lasts 6 years and to proceed to the secondary schools, students must pass a comprehensive examination of basic subjects after Standard 4. Kindergarten starts at the age of 5 and actual teaching learning process already begins in kindergarten. Next, the secondary education. Secondary schools are usually combined, comprising both middle and high schools. Secondary middle schools offer Standard 5 to Standard 8, which is the lower secondary level, whereas secondary high school Standard 9 and Standard 10 matriculation, which is the upper secondary level. The first phase of secondary education takes place at middle schools, where students pass through the Standard 5 to Standard 8 before they take their Standard 8 examination. In high schools, all students have to take Myanmar, English, and mathematics as compulsory subjects. Art students major in geography, history, and economics, while science students major in chemistry, physics, and biology. At the end of the 2-year high school period, like in the end of Standard 10 matriculation, students sit for their university entrance examinations, which is the matriculation examinations, which is annually in March, administered by the Board of Examinations of the Ministry of Education. Students who achieve distinctions in 5 or more subjects, or a combined total of approximately 500 or 600 marks, are generally guaranteed placement in one of the technological and medical universities, the most selective of universities in Myanmar. Test scores are released at testing sites throughout the country in June since 2007. Next, we have the new basic education. In 1998, kindergarten was designated as grade 1, and since then, kindergarten has been not for singing and playing, which is normally the case internationally, but the actual teaching and learning takes place in kindergarten. Former Standard 1 syllabus is taught in kindergarten. Even though the children are only 5 years old, it can be said that academic standard in Myanmar is 1 year ahead of the internationally accepted age norm. It seems as if what is known as Standard 10 is academically about equivalent to international grade 11, even though the age of Myanmar students are 1 year younger than their international cohorts. Now, take a look at the comparison of the old and new basic education system is shown in the diagram below. Next, the tertiary education. In tertiary education system, after high school, a student had to attend for 2 years either intermediate arts or intermediate science course at the university, depending on the arts or science subject combination chosen by the student. Myanmar has 158 tertiary education institutions, colleges, degree colleges, and universities which are overseen by respective ministries. The majority of students are studying full-time in tertiary education under the management of the Ministry of Education, while some students are assessing higher education. So after intermediate arts and intermediate science, students could select to attend arts and science university or any other professional universities such as technological university, medical university, economic university, which is according to their interests and marks attained in their intermediate arts and intermediate science courses. Also, after intermediate science, students who wanted to become engineers could apply for engineering specializations at the Faculty of Engineering, which required another 4 years to earn Bachelor of Science in Engineering degree. Next, we have technical and vocational education. Access to technical and vocational educations and training, or TVET, in Myanmar is provided by relevant ministries and the private sector. So the technical and vocational education and trainings, or TVETs, are mainly run by the technical high schools and technical institute under the Ministry of Education. Next, we will discuss about the education pathway of technological universities. So the students who pass the national matriculation examination with the qualified marks for entering technological universities in Myanmar can join 6 years Bachelor of Engineering or Architecture degree courses. So there's a block diagram of education pathway of technological universities that can be shown as follows. First, you have to pass the national matriculation examination. By that, if you were able to pass, you can take Bachelor of Engineering or Architecture. And if you passed, you can also take the postgrad diploma or ME. After passing the postgrad diploma, you can take MS or MS Engineer. Then you can proceed to PhD. Lastly, pathway of undergraduate programs in technological universities. The students who pass the national matriculation examination with the qualified marks to enter the technological universities throughout the country needs to attend pre-engineering courses in year 1 or 2 semesters. After passing pre-engineering courses in the first year, the students will have to attend and pass pre-engineering part 1 or the junior courses in year 2 for 2 semesters and engineering part 1 for senior courses in year 3 for 2 semesters as the engineering fundamentals. So that ends my report. Before we end, let me read this quote to you by Kofi Annan. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.